Welcome, JAFMM podcast listeners. The time has come again where we are in need of donations for our annual Extra Life campaign. Extra Life is a community of gamers who raise money and awareness for children's miracle hospitals by embarking on a 25-hour gaming marathon. Donating is simple, tax-deductible, and 100% of your donation goes directly to our chosen children's hospital. For more information and donation links, visit justafewmoreminutes.com. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Just a Few More Minutes podcast, where three veterans of the animation video game industry talk about exactly that, animation video games. Sometimes we talk about animation a lot, like last episode.
And sometimes not at all.
Like this episode. Woo! I am Jeff Gabor. I am a supervising animator at Blue Sky Studios in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Yep. I'm Michael Berardini, animator. Emphasis on Berardini, because people listen to the podcast that know you and know Pete have no idea who I am. Michael Berardini, look me up.
And I'm Pete Paquette.
Oh, yeah, okay. P-A-Q-U-E-T-T-E. Paquette. Paquette.
I've heard people butcher my name in various ways. Most notably, the one time someone called me Pasquette. I was like, where the hell did the S come from?
That swoopy on the P. It gets confusing. He has dyslexia. Don't be mean to him, Pete.
Yes, I am not a bigot.
No, you can't be. You have a little bit of everything in your heritage, apparently.
Yes, I do.
What does that mean?
I am well mixed.
Yeah. You know, it's all over the map.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about my heritage to people yesterday. Because my last name is Berardini. Everyone thinks I'm like pretty hardcore Italian. Actually, just a quarter Italian and half Mexican. And then a quarter like Polish or some shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like half American, half Nazi.
Yeah, that's not how you should say that one.
Okay, it's a quarter. It's like a quarter.
Just a quarter Nazi. Great.
That's it.
And then there's an eighth fish fucker in there.
Oh, yeah, but that's all. That's my own percentage working myself in there.
Yeah, well, now your baby Mac, she's going to have a little fish fucking percentage.
It is weird to look up your history and be like, oh, there's weird. Now, see, I'm overemphasizing the Nazi part because I don't know. But it's the family heritage that, you know, they weren't Americans at the time of World War II, but they were in the military and they were in Germany, so it gets real awkward real fast in terms of like what did they do?
Yeah, I was watching John Oliver the other night, and then whatever show, I don't know, Larry David, his family owned slaves. He was pretty surprised by that. His reaction was pretty funny.
No! Yeah, I saw that. It was funny. What were we doing?
Literally nothing.
Normally
we have an animation tip.
I have an animation tip.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's less of a tip and more of like worldly advice that I haven't quite thought out how I'm going to say this.
Okay.
And I might come off as like sort of a jaded asshole.
Okay.
But I'll try to do a good job.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all creative people, right? In our industry, in order to get into animation or video games, we have to be some level of creative. And we all have like a pool of creative energy that we funnel towards our goals, right? Of being an animator or a coder. I don't know if you're creative if you code, but whatever. Hey.
Yeah, it's a different style of creativity.
Sure, but it's still creative. And as a student, we tend to put like 100% of that creativity towards our end goal of becoming a professional, whatever, blah, blah. And I think that's well and good. As a student, you should absolutely like dedicate yourself to finding that skill set to become the best in the industry and do what you need to do to get the job. But once you've got that job, and here's where the jaded part comes in, where I don't want to sound like an asshole.
Okay.
But once you've been doing it for long enough, the fulfillment you get out of funneling all that creative energy towards it starts to diminish a little bit. And like, it's not due to you don't care about animation anymore or blah blah blah. It's like there could be all sorts of different circumstances, one being, you know, like you just don't jive with the project, or you don't jive with the people on it, or like you're getting notes noted into oblivion. This does not have anything to do
how does
with
this
the
feel
current work schedule.
How does this feel about Spies in Disguise?
We'll get there.
Okay.
But like at some point, you're not as creatively fulfilled as you used to be. And in order to combat that, basically my advice is to make your own fucking shit. Because that makes you happy if you work on your own stuff. Like right now, I'm working on 2 shorts at once. In whatever spare time I can get. I spend a lot of time on the weekends just doing shit. And like, it's not that good, you know? It's really not. But it's all mine. It's 100% mine.
Yep.
And I don't get notes from anybody, and it's so fulfilling to finish something that is your baby that you have 100% control over. So my advice to lots of people in whatever industry maybe is like, because everyone talks about finding that like work-life balance. This is more like a creative balance where you're not giving 100% of yourself to your job, but you're not like not doing your work. You're still doing it to the right level, but you're not pouring everything into it, and you still have enough creativity left to give to whatever you want it to be. And like, it doesn't even have to be the thing that you do at your job. Like, I just happen to be doing animated shorts, but I did a comic book for a while. Jeff, you were learning how to code for video games and stuff for a while, which was cool.
Spent summer coding. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know, like Tab at work, he does woodwork shit. There's just all sorts of ways to like make yourself a happier person instead of just being unhappy at work because you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, this is an actual, you know, a relatively common issue is people, if you just work and go home, you're going to get burnt out.
Yep.
And like creatively burnt out, not only creatively, but physically and emotionally. I actually did a while ago, I did a write-up about this on my blog and how I combat it, you know, because I go through that. It doesn't only happen once either. It happens many different times at normally the most inopportune time.
Right.
You know, and you got to overcome it. But how do you do that? And a lot of the times the answer is, yeah, definitely do your own work.
I think the other side of that coin is like, how do you find the energy to actually do that? You know, because lots of people get pretty fucking tired working all day to then come home and work on something else. Force yourself.
Like,
you have to force yourself to start.
We're invested another 2 years on this podcast, and we're gonna do it.
Yeah, this is another creative outlet.
It is actually, genuinely. I mean that actually. It is another one little outlet that seems like an annoying obligation, but then you're like, oh yeah, I like it.
I mean, I do like that it allows me to play more video games.
Yeah, it's an excuse to play video games.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're episode. Let me just check real quick. This is episode 44. That's pretty damn cool.
We're doing it, people.
To that point, it's early in the episode. It's a good tip, Michael.
Thank you.
So we have different kinds of episodes. We have, if you're a new listener, and
where did you come from?
Well, just because we've gotten good feedback, and I'm glad people are telling me that they. I don't know if they've told you guys, but I've gotten feedback that they like the recent...
Oh, hello. Oh, Jesus.
We've gotten feedback that they liked a lot of the recent episodes with the Mike Walling interview and the Pete Paquette interview.
Yep.
That's awesome that you're telling me and Michael and Pete that you like the episodes. It would be even more awesome if you tell somebody else that doesn't listen to the podcast. That'd be super.
I did hear that we talked for way too long about Sonic.
I did hear that as well.
Like, yeah.
I wonder if it was the same person.
Probably.
Van Seth?
No.
Oh, shit. All Oh, well. So, shit.
Well, that's why this episode isn't a Game of the Month episode.
No, but speaking of Game of the Month, we should probably tell everybody what our Game of the Month is.
It's true.
What is it?
It's Cuphead.
Oh, it is Cuphead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We decided that, like,
so we're just...
right after the last
No,
episode.
yes, I got that, but I thought there was a remote chance we were doing that as a mid-game, because I thought we were going to talk about some of it tonight. No?
We can.
Yeah, we can
I have a
chit-chat
couple
about
things I'd like to talk about it with it, you know?
Yeah, sure. Maybe we can do a little bit more of go through our ratings later, but we can just maybe briefly just talk about how beautiful the animation is, since we are talking about animation right now.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. It is fantastic. And like, the style goes hand in hand with the gameplay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It really lends to each other, you know? It's funny, recently, over the past few months, I've been kind of in a lull with gaming, and to the point to where I didn't want to play video games, which is bad.
Yeah, we got a whole
It's
podcast
terrible,
about it.
right? this is my livelihood, for Christ's sake. And well, I should probably rephrase that. Where I just wanted to play my retro games. I didn't want to play anything because I felt like, and this is ignorance, but I felt that everything that has been coming out lately has been old hat, same old shit.
This guy seriously hated Breath of the Wild.
Well, and here's the thing. The fact that I hated it really disappointed me, and I think that played a big role in it. But the thing what I'm getting at is that I thought that, you know, the games that, you know, I thought that, you know, maybe I'm no longer into the newer games anymore. And then I played Cuphead, and then I played a game called Golf Story on the Switch. And those two games completely 180'd me. Now I have a refound, you know, it brought a new breath of life to modern gaming for me personally.
That's very interesting because Cuphead has sort of had the exact opposite effect on me. Because, like, I think the game is beautiful and it's, you know, fairly fun to play, but, like, when I put it down, I don't even fucking remember that I own it until somebody brings it up. It's like, oh, fuck, yeah, I should probably play that. Because
That's interesting.
It's one of the most frustrating games I've played in a while.
That's why I like it. Because it reminds me of the Nintendo. Is if when you beat the game, you have earned it. Like you get
though. Like, I don't even feel like it's skill. It's just memorization.
That's the Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know about
you learn the patterns and you get good at it and you beat it. It's the time invested.
And it probably is that retro versus new stuff. But like, I feel like you compare this to Hyper Light Drifter, which is, I would say, similarly hard, maybe a little less hard, but that has like a lot of variety, whereas Cuphead, like, there's variety in design, but the actual gameplay is like all the same nonstop over and over again.
Well, the variety in the design is what appeals to me. Like, I find that, like, you know, after the first, I'm on like the third island. When I first started playing it, I was like, all right, he runs and guns. And now I'm like, okay, what else? And then suddenly I'm running upside down, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you know, and that kind of stuff, it makes you, it kind of makes you, what's the word I'm looking for? Reinvent how you play the game, I guess.
I'm actually...
That appeals to me.
Are you playing on regular mode too? Like, obviously not easy mode always?
Well, the bosses I go to simple. I've played a few of the regular, but run and gun there's no difficulty switch.
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
Are you doing simple at all?
No.
I haven't done a single boss on simple yet. Because I read somewhere that, like, when you beat them, you don't get the end card stats or whatever, and if you don't get the stats for all the bosses, then you don't get the real ending at the end of the game.
Right.
Oh. Well, I've played multiple ones, multiple. What's the word? The multiple versions, playing the same. Like I beat them on simple, and then I'd go back and try it on regular, and man, the difference is insane. And it actually the gameplay itself changes. You're missing stuff in the simple version that you don't see in the regular.
Well, yeah, I forget where I saw it, but if you play the boss fights on simple version, like a lot of the bosses have multiple stages. The simple version cuts out a couple of those stages, so you're not even seeing all of the stuff that they made.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But again, I'm not very good at video games, so.
Well, I'm
impressed
poking at you, but I know sometimes those games get frustrating for you, so that's why I was shocked you were all the way on the 3rd level playing everything on regular. I was like, holy, that doesn't add up.
Blimey.
But yeah.
No, it's I've had a lot of fun with it, honestly.
That's why I
mean, maybe I should go to simple because I like the difficulty is the one bar for me of enjoying it. I do not like redoing the same thing for fucking 2 hours.
It keeps track. Have you been to the part where it keeps track of your deaths?
Yep. That was the first thing I did when I got to the second world or island or whatever. Died 120 times.
I'm at like almost 170 right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that even existed. Where is that?
There's a little pool down on the second world. If you go down to the very bottom, you'll see a little lake type thing, and a head will pop up out of the lake. Then it'll tell you how many times you've died.
Oh, man, I'd love to see that.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll talk one negative, and then we can move on.
Okay.
That goddamn hourglass that keeps jumping up and down. The load times in this game are ridiculous.
But it's got some nice little animation on that guy.
It does. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of seeing him.
What load times? I can't even think of any.
In and out of the main map, in and like restarting the game or something like it. It's like constant, like, yeah.
Oh, before we jump off of this topic, I watched the GDC panel where one of the animators talked about his process on animating on the game. It's pretty interesting, and I don't know. It was like he basically all the animators were just tasked with coming up with whatever. So like there wasn't any direction. So he could just his example was he just made up like a mermaid character that has an octopus for hair. And then like the lead guys, whatever the fuck their names were, the 2 main guys that made the game, would just give him like design notes and tell him, look at like Betty Boop, make her look more like that. But like literally everyone was just coming up with whatever the fuck they wanted for this. So I don't know. I'm a little confused how there's not like any sort of thread between all these disparate things.
Yeah, I was playing it last night, and Deb just pointed at it and said they must have been really high when they made this, and the only person she could see making that kind of fucked up choices is you, Michael.
I can't wait for her to see one of the shorts I'm working on right now.
Well, at least the style was solid throughout. I mean, like the style is nailed down.
Yeah, and it's very
my gripe.
Cool.
My biggest gripe with the game is honestly the button mapping.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
like I've died many times because of the button mapping.
Yep, likewise. Yeah.
You know?
Did you remap?
No, because I don't want to like relearn how to play the game. So I'm like,
because that was like
saying the hell with it.
One of the first things I did was remap. So shoot is on a trigger, so you just hold that down constantly. So then you're free to jump and do whatever you need to.
Yeah. Should have done that. Should have done that right away.
I should have done that too.
It makes it a lot easier. And then I have left trigger for when he's standing still, so then I can still aim and jump and everything.
I think that's how Axiom Verge is, and that made a lot more sense.
Yep.
Shooting at a direction at an angle, at a 45-degree angle is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to hold the stupid freaking right bumper and
put it on the left trigger, and then you're still holding the shoot, and you can like jump and aim and do all the stuff. Just remap, relearn. It's fine.
It's too late. Too late.
It's not.
It's too late.
It's so easy to hold down a trigger instead of mash a button. I guarantee if you remap it tonight or tomorrow, it'll change your life.
Yeah, but then when you go over to somebody's house, you can't play.
You just remap it there, and who's going over to anyone's houses to play Cuphead?
You have to. It's only couch co-op.
Yeah, I'll
Well-
play with my wife.
Well,
And-
that's a perfect segue into the fact that we are going to be at the Retro Gaming Expo, the Retro World Expo in Hartford, Connecticut this weekend. I am going to Connecticut, and I'm going to go hang out with you guys.
Right. This weekend being the 14th?
October
October 14th.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing some games.
Yep.
You guys are going very early.
I think the main reason, like, what, Pete, you're probably going there to see if there's any super rare games on the floor.
Exactly. I got, like,
Yeah.
what I have left in the NES library is stuff that will not stay on the shelves if I wait too long.
Right. And the reason why I want to get there early is usually there's a handful of vendors that do, like, $2, $3 game bins. Those are picked through and gone within the first half hour, so I'm going to try to make my way and find one of those. And then see if I can pick up 40, 50 games this year.
Sweet Jesus. How much are both of you planning to drop at this show?
If I do find like a $2 to $3 bin filled with games, I'm going to buy them out. Like I'm going to get as many of those games that I don't have, that as long as the label is decent. So I'm going.
I'm looking for a couple different titles. I'm looking for either Mighty Final Fight or
there's
Snow
a couple
Brothers.
$100. Oh, there's a good $400.
Or what?
Snow Brothers.
Snow Brothers.
So that they're expensive games.
Yeah. You'd have to bundle something together to get Snow Brothers cheaper than $400.
Well, I've been looking on eBay. The auctions are going for about $180 right now.
$180. Wow, I got fucked. Let me see how much I spent on Snow Brothers.
I still can't decide if I should go or not. I still need to talk to Mindy about it, first of all.
It's really cool to just go around. It's like going back in time, really, just to walk around and see the different games. And
yeah, I spent $217 on it. No, I didn't.
bad.
Sorry, no, that's what it goes for on this stupid app. I don't have it listed, and I know I got it for cheaper than that. Oh, there it is, $200. I got it for $200.
Well, there you go.
yeah. So you got a pretty good deal on it.
You paid 20 extra bucks for it, and you should have. Which is $20 too much.
I will say it's
For an old
it's very minty. The one I got, it's very nice.
Nice. Have you played it yet?
Nope.
See, that's the problem
I've heard
with
it's-
you collectors.
I've heard that it's a very good game.
Yeah, I would like to play it. I would like to play it. Right now,
Maybe we'll play it this weekend, dude.
I can bring it home for that. I can do that.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. So, you want to talk news?
Yeah, let's do
Let's get some of that nasty news up in our mouths.
I got a bunch of news to talk about this week.
All right.
And you guys might think some of it is stupid, but I found everything that I'm going to talk about, I found very interesting.
Cool.
So let me tell you a little story.
I'm all ears. I'm actually
last-
sitting cross-legged on the floor. Sorry. Continue.
Last podcast, we had the wonderful Mike Walling with us.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had our podcast, and it went really well. Listen to it if you haven't yet. Mike's story is amazing. Immediately following, I got in my car and drove over to Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent the night in the parking lot.
What?
Because the SNES Classic was coming out the following day. And I wanted to be, based off of how hard the NES Classic was to get, I wanted to be sure I got it, because I have the NES Classic, and I feel like I was very lucky to get that.
Right.
The interesting thing is when I showed up, it was probably around 11:30. There was nobody in the parking lot. So I had I not been there, or had I not done this, I would have the situation probably would have been different in my mind. So I just spent the night in the parking lot. I didn't get any sleep. It was rather creepy. there was random cars coming in. There was random people walking around.
What the
which was really bizarre. And around 3 in the morning, I was just checking Facebook, and I follow Cheap Ass Gamer. Cheap Ass Gamer is very good at letting you know when things come out on, like when things come up for sale on various sites. So I saw that ThinkGeek.com had their sale going on, and the post was about 8 minutes old.
Ooh.
So I got onto ThinkGeek, and I fucking put in my information on it, tried to pre-order it, and the screen froze when I hit the select pay or when I hit the place order button. So I was like, "Ah, fuck it, that didn't work." So a few hours goes by. Around 4 in the morning, somebody rolls up next to me, and I don't know who they are, and I'm assuming they're there for the same reason I am. So I get out of my car, and I sit down right in the first in line. And that person stayed in their car until another car showed up, and then she got in line. She was a older woman with like a 35-year-old son who was too lazy, obviously, to do this himself. So we got to conversation. She was there, obviously, for the same reason I was. It was cold as balls, and around, people started showing up more and more as the time went on. And then I realized that I probably didn't need to spend the night when at around 5:30 in the morning, I got a confirmation email from ThinkGeek saying that the order went through. So I was like, great, but I'm first in line. There's only another hour and a half until, until they start handing out tickets. So I'm just gonna fucking stay here. And stayed there, got my ticket, went back at 10 o'clock, picked up my my SNES Classic, and a couple days ago I got the other one in the mail.
Yeah.
Actually going to Jeff Gabor.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I want to talk a little bit about the launch of the Super Nintendo Classic, but I don't want to talk too much about it itself because I want to wait until Jeff has it and plays it, and we can talk about it later.
Okay.
On eBay, on launch day, they sold 143 classic editions every hour.
Jesus.
Between September 29th and October 1st. Equals out to roughly 4 per minute. And the average sale price being between 162 and 165.
What, and they retail for like $60.
They retail for $80.
Okay, 80. Yeah.
Yeah. And Nintendo was, and the shitty thing is that it was about 10 till 7, and people were rolling in, and they still got tickets. So Nintendo kind of followed through with their promise of creating more of these. However, I think the demand is still really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point to where they can't meet it initially. I'm hoping that, and apparently that it's going to be produced through 2018, and that they, for launch they released. I want to say, because like I remember going to the same Best Buy last year for the NES Classic. They only got 8 of them in. This year, there were people without tickets, and they still had systems. So they got a bunch more.
Still not enough. I woke up at 9 o'clock. I did not go to any store because I'm not going to do that. But I could not fucking find one online at all. And I got an email from ThinkGeek at like midnight that night because that was right after we did the podcast. And I got that email.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, cool. Let me do this. And then, of course, like as soon as I checked it at midnight, it was not working for me. So, I don't know. Whatever, Nintendo. Like, they can't meet expectations. They can. They just won't. Pieces of junk.
Yeah, I'm hoping that whatever number they released with, that they continue producing at that quantity, because if that's the case, I think anybody who really wants one will be able to get one eventually.
Well, and I would appreciate if they did that, just for the fact that right now I'm trying to still check eBay for retro video games, just to, constantly see, hey, maybe something's going to come up. It's flooded with those goddamn SNES classics. So you have to keep scrolling past all that shit.
So here's my question for you, Pete.
Yeah.
I hope you're charging Jeff out the fucking ass for this thing.
No, I'm giving him a face value and what I paid for shipping. So,
speaking of out the ass,
okay, let's see where this goes.
The jalapeno challenge gave you issues last year.
Yeah.
And as of right now, looks like you're going to be experiencing it again. So it is that time of year. The three of us and a handful of additional friends are doing the Extra Life charity.
Fuck you, Jeff.
This is a Children's Miracle Network. So it's basically a charity that every year everybody does a 24-hour gaming marathon.
Everyone who's listening right now, donate to me or Pete. Literally, just put me above fucking Jeff.
Pete's destroying both of us. So
right, we'll never.
Please, yes,
Pete.
Go ahead and donate to Pete. Either way, just don't donate to Michael.
This son of a bitch, man. Keep talking, you piece of junk.
Yeah, so it's going well so far. So on November 4th, we'll do our 24-hour gaming marathon. I think something like at 5 o'clock that day, we'll cut off our donations that contribute to the jalapeno challenge. We'll continue to collect donations through actually the end of the year, but let's try to get them in by November 4th. And yeah, so the loser after that 5 o'clock hour will get 3 jalapenos, followed up with a shot of Tabasco sauce. We'll record it, we'll put it online, we'll stream it, and maybe we can get Michael to vomit again.
I never vomited.
You were spitting enough to be vomit.
That was not during Extra Life, though.
Okay. You've done this twice.
Yeah, let me point out. I've done it twice now. Pete's done it once. Jeff's done it several times. Because he's a fucking scoundrel.
You're so funny. You're so funny, though, when you do it. Everybody wants to see that. Everybody wants a sequel. Nobody wants an original show.
Everybody wants... Nope. Nobody knows what they want until they get it. And I think everybody, deep down, they want to see fucking Jeff suffer. That's what I want.
All right, well, put your money... Please, listeners, put your money where your mouth is. Do you want to see Michael vomit again, or do you want me... I'm just going to chew him up. It's not going to be very exciting.
Whatever,
it's
you're
boring.
such a little
I'll follow
bitch.
up by Tabasco.
He's a bitch.
I'll take a glass of milk, and it'll be over.
He's a big wussy.
It's going to be very boring.
He's not good with hot stuff.
Very boring.
Guaranteed.
Very boring.
Yes, for more information, go to our website, justafewmoreminutes.com. There's a post about it with the donation links.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember
To
my
each of us.
password. Because I made it like a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, no. God damn it.
Are you checking the current leaders going on right now?
I just want to see where I'm at. I know I'm pretty low.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead. I know that we're ranked 192nd or something as a team.
We're at 198 right now.
Out of how many?
Out of 4,000 or something like that.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're up there, guys. How much did we raise last year? 11,000?
11,000.
Yeah, we raised over 11,000.
This year's
Sounds
tough.
pretty
There's
good,
a
guys.
lot of just, a lot of tough things that happened this year and a lot of donations being spread thin. So I'm not expecting as much as last year. Okay, so yeah, Pete's at, wow, Jesus Christ. Pete's already at 800. I'm at 225. Michael's at 155.
I'd like to point out, I have 4 donations. You have 3. That means one more person actually likes me. They're just cheaper than the people that you donated.
That's
one of which is you, which is a fucking cheap-ass move.
I will pay myself out of this fucking thing. There's no rules against that.
See?
I will cheat.
Make this fucking cheater prosper, whatever.
I swear to God, at 4:59 that day, I will dump as much money as I need to see you do jalapenos.
Oh my God, you're the worst fucking human.
It's for the kids.
Yeah, for the kids.
We should mention that the event's gonna be streamed.
Yeah.
You guys will have, if you're staying in New York, you'll have your channel going.
Yep.
Of the podcast channel going.
Yeah, we'll give out our usernames closer to the date.
Cool.
Are we gonna stream together or separate?
I would like to stream together.
Just because you suck at it.
You are a better streamer.
I wish the audience could see my proud smile.
You are better. You are. You actually talk to your audience, and just in that 24 hours, you actually got followers.
I did.
Independent, like real people.
Yeah.
Not affiliated. Like people tuned into the channel and was like, oh, this guy's funny.
They're probably gone now because
Oh, most definitely.
I didn't stream since then. Although, actually, after the last one, I started streaming like a fair amount afterwards because it is really fun. But it's also a real hassle.
You know who's streaming now? My brother.
Is he?
Curved Earth.
What's he playing?
Nerd
shit?
Minecraft.
Oh, I'd like to see what he's building.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So yes, November 4th, if you're interested.
I am.
Yeah, let's keep going. Keep going with that news. It's good. It's good. There's some good stuff.
All right, so something that I'm interested in. I don't know if you guys know about this because I've talked about it before. It initially came out just for the PC, but now it's coming to the Switch. Is Owlboy.
Wait, is there a date?
There is no date yet.
Oh well.
But the game is beautiful. Apparently, it's really fun. I haven't played it yet, but it's a 2D Metroidvania game where you control an Owlboy, and he floats around in the clouds.
That game sure does look awesome.
It's been out for a long time, right? On Steam, like over a year.
Steam, yeah. But I like consoles, and actually, that's the perfect Switch game.
Yeah, it really,
Fucking Mega Man 3
will.
music. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, enough of that.
So other Switch news, a few indies that we played are coming or have come out for the Switch.
Hit us.
Notably, let's see, Oxenfree, Axiom Verge, and Stardew Valley.
No, I'm not going there.
Oh,
You're not gonna go to the spot where you wish you could.
I don't. If you can get married, why can't you cheat on your wife?
well, they updated it quite a bit, and apparently you can get dumped and everything now. So,
Oh,
See? There it
snap!
is.
Jeff's finally on board. He wants to get dumped.
Conflict. You can't. You have to be able to lose what you gain. Right?
it's a fantastic game. I know you guys probably will never play it.
I
but
probably will, Pete.
I really, really thoroughly enjoyed my time playing it, and I'm probably going to pick it up for the Switch so I can play it on the go.
I'm currently fighting the urge to buy it because I just bought a bunch of games, but I've been really enraptured with Kingdom New Lands, also on the Switch, which is that side-scrolling horse-looking game.
That looks great.
Yeah, I heard that game is fantastic.
It's really good. It's not at all what I thought it was because it looks just like a sort of a side-scroller, sort of wandery action sort of game, but it's actually like a base-building game, and then monsters attack every night, and you have to build out your fortifications. Jeff's stretching his leg. His back's obviously fucked up right now.
Cramp.
Stand up, walk it
Need
off.
to eat some bananas or some shit.
We got to get a better setup than this. Holy shit.
I mean, we're literally sitting on the floor looking at chairs that you won't allow us to sit on because they're too squeaky.
If someone ever says feedback about the show, especially about annoying sounds, I have to.
Nobody ever says anything about annoying sounds except you.
And my brother.
That is true. I listened to our recent podcasts in the past because every week I drive to Boston. I'm stuck in traffic, so I re-listened to them, and one of them, Jeff was like, "Pete, is your air conditioning on?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right then. I guess I'm just hearing things." Moving on.
Yeah.
An interesting, me and Jeff both have the Retron 5 which is...
I still love it.
So do I.
I still love it.
Yeah, we
too.
all three do.
I don't use it.
You have one too?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we use it quite a bit, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic machine. It plays a bunch of different systems.
Have you, just as a curiosity, have you tried going back to emulation after having the Retron?
No.
It's
In fact, I don't like the Retron 5 is the closest thing to emulation that I do.
Yeah.
It is an emulation based box, but
You're right.
it is I don't use emulators.
Emulators just do not compare.
No.
Here's my question to SNES Classic owner and a future SNES Classic owner. You gonna hack it so you can add more stuff to it?
Absolutely not.
All right.
No.
Well, you
No.
guys are no fun.
I feel like it ruins the fidelity of the product if
Yeah.
you were to hack it.
I'm with you, Pete.
Like it's no longer what it was intended to be.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
don't know.
you might as well just buy an emulator then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
sort of
anyway,
you're buying.
what I'm getting at is that this Retron 5 enables us to play old games on a newer television or a monitor through HDMI output. There is a Indiegogo campaign going on right now for what is called the CD, spelled SEEDI.
Clever.
And what this is a similar situation, only it plays CD-based games. It can play PlayStation 1 TurboGrafx CD, Neo Geo CD, Sega CD. It can also play NES games, Sega Genesis, MAME, Game Boy, Atari 2600, TurboGrafx 16, with the potential to add Sega Saturn, 3DO, CDI, PCFX, Amiga CD32, Jaguar CD, and a couple other things that I don't really.
I would definitely, if that everything gets actually made, I would definitely be down on it because I would love to. Because I have still my my Sewer Shark and my Time Gal and Willie Beamish and all that, but I got no way to play it.
Well, there's a prototype currently that they gave out to Metal Jesus. I don't know if you're familiar with Metal Jesus on YouTube.
Yep.
And he did a review of it, and for the most part, it looked like it was plug and play. So, it looks promising. I actually invested in it. We'll see where it goes. It's on Indiegogo, CD retro gaming system.
Sweet.
Now, one thing that I noticed on the SNES Classic, not to beat a dead horse here, but I didn't notice before that, like, the boxes are the same exact size on the NES Classic as the SNES Classic, and on the very top it is a red. It's completely red, like a bright saturated red, and there is a logo of each controller, and underneath it says Classics, meaning that, in my opinion, that they're going to be making a whole line of these things. What's interesting, the interesting thing about that is that Nintendo registered a new Game Boy trademark in Japan. The trademark covers home video game console programs as well as programs for smartphones, smart cases, smartphone covers, key holders, necklaces, and watches. It's speculated that there might be a classic Game Boy Mini.
It's somewhat ironic because the Game Boy in itself is mini.
Yeah.
It'll be the size of a little Game Boy cartridge. Oh!
Wouldn't it just be like iPhone shaped basically or something?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
just an app.
they did release the Game Boy Micro back in like 2006 or something like that, and that was like really small. That was really like fit in your pocket, smaller than an iPhone.
Well,
And the image fidelity on the screen was actually surprisingly crisp for it.
Wait, so do you think it'll be a portable thing or a plug into your TV thing?
I am assuming it would be portable if they're going to go that route. But I don't, I have no idea.
If they're gonna go portable, maybe try putting those games on the fucking Switch and not cannibalize the market. You fucking stupid idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
At least the Retron 5 plays Game Boy as well.
It's true.
it does. And Game Boy Advanced.
Game Boy Color.
And Game Boy Color. So in other NES news, this actually just came up, which was really interesting to me.
My goodness, the Nintendo news, out of control.
Yeah. The 100 years ago, Finland gained its independence from Russia.
Okay.
To celebrate this, a small team of developers made a new game for the NES called Perkele. Or Perkele, or something like that.
Let's go with Percolate.
All right. It is a collection of mini games based around Finnish culture. And it goes on sale tomorrow.
Skip it.
It's very bizarre, but I thought it was kind of cool.
It's bizarre.
What kind of game is
Yeah.
it? Is it Tetris?
One is a 2D fighting game. Another one is a Zapper game.
Huh.
And then there's another one where a seal is shooting lasers out of its eyes. I don't know.
A Navy SEAL or a SEAL the animal?
A seal.
Okay. Neat.
So the last thing I think gaming related that I have
Yes.
is the Tamagotchis are being re-released by Bandai.
Oh, I
Did you
saw
guys
that.
have these things?
Absolutely, I fucking did.
I had one too. I had a Rancor one. I was much older than I should have been to own one at the time, but I saw that they were making a Rancor one for the Star Wars line, and I was like, I have to have this. I was in the Marines at the time.
Hold on,
I am
guys. I
playing with
gotta
this-
feed my little Tamagotchi.
Yeah,
He's got
they're
a
being
poop.
released. They'll hit stores in limited quantities on November 5th for $15. Of course, they will be scooped up and scalped.
That
That
shit is gonna be hot for
yes.
Christmas.
Yep. No doubt. There it is. That's your
Fuck the
new.
SNES,
That's your new
man. I want
hatchling
a
this
new
year.
Tamagotchi. Whew.
I was over at Michael's and they just had a stack of those hatchling things.
The
Or Hatchimals,
store.
Hatchimals.
The store.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're right. Sorry.
I have a ton of Hatchimals, whatever those are. I really like them.
That was last year's big thing.
Hatchimals?
They were like
Hatchimals,
yeah,
yeah.
they were being scalped everywhere.
What are
Yeah, they
Hatchimals?
were.
They were like these eggs, and you didn't know what stuffed animal was inside, so you'd buy it, and then the egg would literally hatch, and you'd get your toy. So it was like a secret what you were getting, and that was all the gimmick it needed to be.
Sounds pretty cool. Man,
Um,
remember when Christmas used to be that exciting?
Yes, I remember crying when I got the Sega CD.
Because it wasn't a Nintendo.
I wanted it so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that being like a hot ticket item back then. In hindsight, it just doesn't hold up. But for me, it was Super Mario 2. I didn't get that on Christmas. I got Zelda 2. I didn't get Super Mario 2.
Ooh, that is a letdown.
Yeah,
I remember
but
when I
back
got
then
my
it was really hard to find those games.
Yeah. You're what?
N64. That was my first thing because I bought my SNES with my own hard-earned money. My NES was my brother's that I just inherited.
Mm-hmm.
But the N64 was like a big old Christmas gift.
Did you get it the Christmas it came out?
No.
You got it the following year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think my buddy at Christmas the year before got it, and he was showing me Zelda, and it was like blowing my fucking
Yeah.
mind. Did Zelda come out with the launch of N64? Because maybe my timeline's all wrong.
No.
I don't think so.
I thought it was just Mario and
I remember
Shadow of the
getting-
Empire.
I remember getting Doom and Shadow of the Empire and Mario.
Yeah.
Well, Zelda was the thing that convinced me that I wanted it.
Those things were hard to
Dang, I
find for
got
a
it.
long time, though. The
yes,
64,
they
like,
were.
I had to wait a long time for mine. I had games before I had the system, and I would just read the manual over and over again, waiting for the day to get the system.
Nerd.
Back when the games
Funny.
came with
You're
manuals.
funny.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right?
I miss that. I miss manuals with video games. Anyway,
I'm making a pact now. I am not buying any more Switch games. If they are released on a cartridge, I'm buying them cartridge form.
Why?
Because
what a waste of space,
man. Because
there's 2 games on the Switch that actually have manuals, like real old school manuals. That's Binding of Isaac and Cave Story. It was the reason why I bought Binding of Isaac, was the manual. Really cool.
Explain.
Collecting. They're the same price, but you get a hard copy, you get the art, you get something physical to hold, and you can sell it. Should you ever want to. And it's a cartridge. It doesn't deteriorate like a CD. A CD, you can collect CD-based games. They're gonna go bad. They're not gonna work forever. Cartridge, you're playing that 30 years from now.
Yep.
Have fun swapping out every game. That's the best part about having a digital thing with all your library on it. You can be like, I'm
down for that with my Xbox, my
that.
PlayStation, and everything else. My
but
Switch.
Not your one portable gaming device where it would be nice to have all of your games available at your hand fingertips.
If it's a major title, yes, I'm going.
Foolish. You're gonna lose your stupid little cartridge when you're traveling on a plane.
Yeah.
You're gonna fumble and be like, "Oh God, Zelda!" And
they are tiny.
Yeah.
They're like the size of your thumbnail.
Maybe bigger because I bite my fingernails.
Yeah, me too. It's a nervous habit.
It's just a habit. I'm not nervous. I enjoy it.
Oh, I got a dirty look from my animation supervisor a few years ago, and I was doing the biting in the middle of a meeting, and he looked at me and he was like, "You are fucking disgusting." I was like, "I didn't even know I was doing it."
Well, he never said anything to me.
It was Gallon.
I know. I've heard this story.
Oh,
Maybe even on this fucking podcast.
Maybe Pete hasn't heard it.
No, I haven't, actually. It's very interesting.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
How many stories do I tell over and over again?
You have a few.
Oh, God. Would you stop me? Would you stop me if I'm doing that?
Not on the podcast, to be honest. Because my interaction with you is mostly through the podcast. So
yeah, we're not real friends.
Fuck you, man. I'm keeping that other SNES. I'm going to scalp that bitch.
Yeah, you can make real money, Pete. You're just handing it over to this asshole who won't even eat a jalapeno.
You know, I'm not doing this. But I thought about it. You're bringing it to the retro convention.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were going to trade it in?
Oh, man. Think if I did that and got credit on, like, Snow Brothers or something.
I'm not doing that because I'm a friend of yours.
I, of course, would not do that. Of course. I'm very actually happy you thought of me and offered it.
Yeah. I am glad, too. So I want to bring up awareness of something I found today that's actually really cool.
All right,
and you guys will appreciate this.
I thought it was going to get really dark for a second.
No. This is really cool. The Video Game History Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They are a group of people dedicated to gathering and archiving artwork, interviews, reviews, packaging, advertising, internal documentation, and more to tell a complete story.
Okay.
So far, they just did today, I think, a huge write-up on the development of Aladdin for the Genesis.
Oh.
It is the gamehistory.org is where you find it. It's really cool. That's it for gaming news. I definitely want to keep talking about the Super Nintendo Classic, but again, I'm going to wait because I want Jeff's thoughts on it and your thoughts on it, Mike, when you get a chance to play it.
Yeah.
So, video game news is done. Now
this is crazy. Like, sorry, I'm now going to the site and just looking at, because I've gotten such additional insider information because Jim Jackson is an animator at Blue Sky that did a lot of the animation on that game. Because he worked at Disney and they had Disney animators do a lot of the animation, and then the guys over at the interactive place would then turn it into actual sprites. But it's just interesting hearing all of his stories about how the Disney animators obviously knew nothing about video games and put way too much anticipation, overlap, and all that jazz. And it was just a big learning curve for all of them to actually create animations that worked for the game.
Yeah, I
Really
can
cool.
imagine. I mean,
Yeah, that's. The
I went through that myself. When I made the transition from film to games, I went through that same sort of kind of gauntlet of, hey, you can't do that. Why? Well,
Yeah.
because when you push the button, you want it to happen, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So the Star Wars trailer came out.
Whoa! Ray might be a bad guy. Spoilers. Sorry. Let's put a spoiler.
Whoops. Whoops.
Just kidding, though. Everyone on the internet says that it's clever editing, and it's not even.
It very well could be. The one thing that stuck with me the most, spoilers again, was the kind of hinting at the death of Princess Leia.
Yep.
That was, I mean, everybody knows Carrie Fisher's gone, and
What?
What? Real life spoilers.
so I mean, like, how do they put that into the story? And it's kind of, I think they touched on that a little bit.
I will say one of the things about the trailer that sort of bothers me, but I'm also open to, but right now it messes with me, is there's a lot of shot choices that feel very modern compared to what's been in Star Wars before. And I felt the same way with the first Force Awakens trailer, where there's like canted camera angles and stuff. But that shot specifically, where it's like a really low shot looking up on Rey as she's swinging a lightsaber, like that's just an angle you don't see in Star Wars very often. And it sort of
Yeah.
rubs me the wrong way. It doesn't feel like classic. It feels like grittier, because like Rian Johnson is directing this, and he did a bunch of the like best episodes on Breaking Bad, and that's like a gritty show, and this feels a little gritty too, but it's cool.
I did not buy my ticket with you guys for the midnight screening, and you guys all bought it the night before. And then you asked me if I saw the trailer. I'm like, no, and I didn't buy my ticket. So you walked away. I loaded up the trailer, and I hit fucking buy immediately. This trailer is good.
It's a pretty cool ass trailer, and it's got that little.
My
port.
biggest gripe with the whole thing, and it plagues the Star Wars universe, is the fact that they got to reinvent the wheel every fucking iteration of Star Wars that comes out. Is like the AT-ATs. Why can't they just be regular AT-ATs? What the fuck are these gorilla things?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
It's quite a while afterwards.
No, I mean it's cool looking. It's just, was it necessary? Like obviously toy sales were behind that decision, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see that point of view, but I don't know. You gotta, sort of like similar to the Blade Runner movie that just came out. Like, people will accuse you of not being creative or original if you just do the same thing, and then if you do something different, then people will accuse you of changing it too much. So like, you're sort of always going to be stuck in a difficult position, I think, when you're continuously making movies of the same.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's just that, but that's just my perspective.
Yep. And I will say, I do not like all the extraneous detail on that new AT-AT. It just looks weird with the little like spindle things coming off its leg.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, my foot is.
They had to put new stuff, because otherwise a simple tree trunk from an Ewok can take it down.
Mike is stretching in pain right now.
socks are those? Are those my socks?
Why
Those are fucking my socks.
Why would I be wearing your socks?
You said your feet were cold.
What? I never said that.
Who said that?
Probably your wife.
No.
Not me. These are my
You guys
socks.
have been spending too much time together? Is that...
Yeah, probably. Fucking loser.
One of the things that my kids are actually really responded well to when they watched it was the porg,
Dude,
the little puffin bird thing.
those porgs, man, they're blowing up the fucking internet.
I'm a little concerned though for Star Wars.
Why?
I mean, it's got to compete. It's got to compete against Ferdinand. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We have the Ferdinand rap party on Wednesday the 13th. Then Star Wars comes out the 14th. So that's 2 very late nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be drunk one of those nights. Who knows what?
How are you getting as drunk as you did for the last one?
I don't think so.
That was the most drunk I think you've been.
No, quite a while, yeah.
That was fun though.
Yeah, belligerent. That's
Yeah.
always
You
fun.
got aggressive. Said some mean things, but
No,
I
I
forgave you.
didn't.
Mm,
They were all from a good place. I don't know what I said.
you wouldn't let me name my daughter whatever that name was that you're going to name your daughter. And you're very, very insistent on about that.
I wish I remembered the name.
It's whatever. It's still the one. It's whatever, your name.
I don't
You don't have to say it.
I don't have a girl name.
Maybe it was a boy name then.
I
Whatever
do
it was.
have a boy name that I'm very adamant about.
Okay.
Well, good thing you had a girl.
Yeah. Good thing. Good thing.
So, last couple things, and I don't know which one to say first. I think I'm gonna wait for the big announcement.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk about Blade Runner
Yeah.
and how it did not perform very well at the box office,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because apparently it's really, really good. And I've yet to see it, so if you've seen it, Michael,
I have.
please be kind. Please be kind. Do not spoil it.
I won't spoil it at all. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but made the very poor decision of seeing it late at night after going to dinner and having drinks and stuff. And it's a long movie, and late at night, you're a little tired. It makes it feel a lot longer. And I think that is one of the reasons why it didn't make a lot of money, because it's nearly 3 hours. So, number one, you have just less showtimes per day to make money off of, and two, that turns a lot of people away just knowing that it's a 3 hour movie. But overall, I thought the movie was good and I liked it. My biggest critique is that it didn't necessarily feel like Blade Runner to me. But that goes back to what I was just saying, where, like, this is a movie that literally, not every, but very, very, very many sci-fi movies and beyond have copied the style and the way this movie is shot and the way it looks and everything. So for Denis Villeneuve to just straight up copy it at this point would sort of like lose the impact. So his visuals of Blade Runner are, I won't say a lot different, but they're definitely different from the original. And if it didn't have the title Blade Runner in it, I don't think anyone would necessarily make the connection, which I think is fine, but it also added to a disconnect for me between the two stories, and they are very much connected. Other than that, though, I thought the story was very interesting, paced very, 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 very slow. The original was also paced very slow, but it was also an hour shorter. And I do feel like they could have cut off some time of this and had a tighter story. I don't know where you would cut stuff out, maybe just shorten some of the shots, because all of it was necessary and interesting, but And again, it could have just been I was fucking tired, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, it had a production budget of about $150 million. It opened with opening weekend was $32 million. It's currently sitting at 43.2. So I don't think it'll make its money back.
It hasn't hit worldwide though yet, right? I don't know if you have that up.
Worldwide, it has made 92.4.
So
Not too shabby.
it's not too shabby. It's not great either, and it sucks because this is like the kind of sci-fi I want people to go see, and support. But whatever.
I wish they would actually, when they said the budget in the movie, they would actually include the entirety of releasing the movie. Because you're like, oh, they're only a little bit away from making their money back. It costs twice as much to market the movie.
Yeah.
And depending on the scope of the marketing, it could even cost more. So now they're looking at trying to recoup $350 million.
Yeah.
I personally wish they would stop even fucking giving numbers and people caring about it. Because, like, it's sort of the same thing with the Rotten Tomato score and all that stuff. Like, just because it doesn't track well with critics or it didn't make a lot of money does not mean it's not a bad movie, right? But if it doesn't make a lot of money, people assume it's not that good, so they don't go see it.
Well, the thing about Rotten Tomatoes is if it's 68%, it doesn't mean it's 68% quality or something. It means 68% of the people gave it a slightly unfavorable review. That's all it. Or sorry, not even. Sorry, I meant a 32% gave it a slightly unfavorable.
Yeah, but 68 is like failing in grading or whatever. So
right. So it doesn't quite. What's more important, they make the number so small, is the average rating. There's an average rating over at the side, so it could be like 6.8. Like the same percentage, like a 90%, could have a really low average rating of like most people gave it a solid C or something. Like it's like, yeah, it ain't bad, but go see it. But it's still rated 90%.
right.
Or something that's 85 could actually have a higher average rating because the people that really love it say it's a freaking 10. I don't know. It's a little weird to know exactly. Rotten Tomatoes is a little bit misleading at times.
Yep. I don't really approve of any of that shit. Just like find someone that has similar tastes. Like I really like Mark Kermode from I think he's on the BBC's various other stuff, but tend to agree with a lot of his reviews, and he doesn't number them or anything. He just talks about them. He's pretty good.
So should we stop the number ratings on our games? Just generally talk. Yeah.
I mean, I've always said from the beginning we shouldn't even have numbers.
That's fine.
That was
I'm willing to, like, I feel like we end up talking probably too long because of that. So we can just generally, hey, Michael.
We could still go over the topics.
Yeah, that's fine. We just don't need to rate it.
Don't need to rate it.
The only reason why I think it's fun to rate it is at the end of the year, you get to say what your favorite game of the year is. But I suppose you don't need a number to say that.
No, but it would be interesting just from a entertainment level that like, oh, apparently I really, really liked Master Blaster, but that obviously wasn't my game of the year or whatever, you know? Right. So, whatever. Blade Runner is cool. Everyone please go see it because it's pretty neat.
What's your current in the running game of the year? If you had to pick right now.
I don't know. It's probably Zelda, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me check all the games I've played. Because I play so many more games than what we talk about on this podcast.
You do, yeah.
Yeah. Mine so far is honestly, it's a toss up between Resident Evil 6 and
Doom. No,
it's actually this game that I've been playing on my phone.
Huh.
Called Matchland. I've been playing it for a long time.
Dude, I've been playing Matchland too.
That game is fantastic.
It is very good, and they don't ask you to pay anything ever, and it's very unobtrusive.
Yep. Really good mobile game.
Let's sorry, you're gonna look up your favorite game, right? Before I cut you off.
I'll go for it.
Well, I was gonna finish like the last piece of news, right? Yes, Pete.
Last piece of news is the the announcement of Spies in Disguise.
Yeah,
Whoa.
we can finally say the name because we just found out. Yeah, we've been calling it by its code name for the last 2-3 years, so we just found out a week ago what the name was. For those of you listening and just heard a weird cut, I accidentally gave away a plot point that I shouldn't have, and we needed to edit it out because I thought it was in the press release, and clearly it was not.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
But what was in the release? Will Smith, Tom Holland,
Spider-Man.
yeah,
Fresh Prince.
and they are sounding fucking awesome.
They do sound really cool.
I cannot wait to get really moving on the animation.
They got some good reads.
Yes, they do. They are bringing so much. Like, I just have nothing bad to say. In fact, I would probably say that so far, Will Smith is my favorite voice actor we've ever had. He's so good. Yeah, really cool.
That's cool.
Like, there's some actors where you're like, I don't understand why we're paying this person so much. This guy's worth every penny. I don't know what we're paying him, but he is worth every dime.
Yeah. I have only animated one tiny little test shot to one of his dialogue things, and it wasn't even that good. But, like, there's some dialogue where, like, you have to invent how you think that line was delivered to make it convincing. But with Will Smith's lines, it's like, as soon as you hear it, you can see it in your head. And then you just have to fucking animate it. Because it's so, like, rhythmic and bouncy, and it's, like, very obvious how it should be.
Yeah, he is great. You can check
I'm
out.
looking forward to it.
You can. I don't know if you saw it, Pete, but you can go on Joe Blow and Variety and all that. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's on Variety, but definitely Joe Blow and some other websites actually have images of our two main characters, Lance and Walter.
Yep. I saw him. Very well designed.
Yeah, I got a similar comment on my Facebook from a friend. Yeah. He really likes the designs.
Cool. I'm very happy with the way they turned out, so it's cool.
You're doing good, Nick. Doing good.
Yeah, you should talk about that. Who's directing it?
Right. So, guy we've had on the podcast a few times, Nick Bruno, is directing along with Troy Quine. So those two guys are two first-time directors, and they're making it look like they're longtime veterans. They are really good. They know what they want. They are picky as all hell, and that is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would like, again, to reiterate the thing I said at the beginning of the podcast. Not because I'm not enjoying my time on the current movie. I am quite enjoying it. But it's nice to make stuff for yourself, too.
Why are you bringing that up right now?
Because you said, I hope that doesn't mean you're uncomfortable or not enjoying Spies in Disguise.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm reiterating.
It is funny. Like, you're finding a way to freshen up your own job on this movie, though.
Yeah, I don't know how well I'm doing, but like it has really helped to like have my own shit, and then it like sort of lessens the stress of the actual job. Although also, to be fair, I've been doing like rig testing and stuff, which is not super creative, so I needed an outlet during that time too.
That's true. Yeah, pre-production can be a slog in terms of very technical. What are you gonna do when the eyelet is set at 0.025? Can you do a draw over on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my favorite thing.
So, speaking of creative outlets, for all three of you who watched in the past, I am bringing back the Pete Plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
that
big
one
fan
guy
of
on
those.
YouTube is so happy.
Yeah, and I'm actually approaching it from a different angle this time.
Okay.
Because basically what happened in the past was I had a pipeline set up to make videos rather quickly, and I was turning videos out almost every day.
Yep.
And in rewatching them, I found them to be rather non-informative and boring. So I'm going to be approaching it. I'm actually going to be writing about the games first and doing voiceover on it and stuff, and
Whoa.
really
Jesus.
giving giving the games the respect they deserve from more of a editorial standpoint.
So then, does that mean you're gonna be able to do a lot more curating on what games you do rather than just going alphabetical?
That I'm not sure of yet. The one I'm working on now is actually Hudson's Adventure Island 3, which is where I left off.
Okay. Well, that's a good one anyways.
It's a good one. Depending upon how that goes, we'll see. If it's not a very long and tedious process, maybe I will keep going alphabetically, but I know that there's some games that my heart just won't be in it, such as like Challenge of the Dragon.
Battle Chess.
There's a lot of games that would be very difficult to get into, but at the same time, every game has a story, and I'm trying to dive into the development of these things and finding out as much as I can before really, rather than just throwing the game in, playing it for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm actually gonna try and play through some of them and find out as much development in history I can about these games.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Very fancy. How many games are in the NES library?
Over 800 or so.
I only have 700 of them, so
Nice.
At the current moment I'm only going to be reviewing the games that I own.
700. I feel like I have a lot, and I'm like at 240. Feels like I have a lot.
Both
That's
is
a lot
too
of games.
much.
It's a lot of games.
But wait, so what did you say? You're playing like Hogan's Heroes or some crap?
Adventure
Hudson's
Island.
Adventure Island 3.
Hudson, so you're on H or A still?
A.
Okay, I was like,
Hudson is the
you
developer.
must have did a lot of videos before.
Be like Activision's Poopy Pants.
Okay. Well, I support you on this endeavor, Pete. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's been interesting so far, and it's also been it's been interesting to find out like what different companies, like, just because it has the Hudson name doesn't mean it was made by Hudson. The guys who actually produced Hudson 3 was a company called Now Production, and they actually made the Yo-Noid game, which I didn't know.
Just bought that last week.
That is Doble's like favorite game ever. He brings that up all the fucking time.
And that was released by Capcom.
Yeah, it was published by Capcom. So there's some interesting like little tidbits of information I'm finding.
So how often can we expect one of these beauties?
That remains to be seen. Right now I'm writing kind of like a run up for it, and then I'm gonna play the game, and then I'm gonna write about my thoughts of while I was playing it. Then I'm gonna edit all that together and put the voiceover on it, and
Cool.
so we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right. Well, this has been another video game centric, for the most part, podcast of JAFMM. Don't worry, we'll mix it up with our game of the months and more of our interviews. We have some guests lined up. At least I'm gonna say that, even though we don't. But actually, we do. We at least have one. So I guess from there, we'll
Horizon
see you in
Zero
2
Dawn.
weeks.
That's another one of my top games of this year.
Okay, good, sweet.
I got that.
Wait, by the time this comes out, is Mario going to be out?
Comes out October 27th.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think we have another episode.
Well, yeah, we'll have one more episode before it's out. Cool.
Yep.
All right, gather your thoughts on Cuphead, and we'll discuss it a little bit more in detail on probably the next episode, or we'll do an interview or a combo of the two. So tell your friends if you like these episodes or the interview episodes. See if we can continue to get some more listeners. 3 of us are going to dump in a shit ton of more money for another 2 years, so hopefully we can get more than our moms listening to this.
My dad, I think, just started listening. He was like, how's your blog going? I'm like, Dad, it's not a blog, that's written. So if you got here, Dad, welcome. Sorry. Goodbye.
My parents have no idea what a podcast is. No way.
Yeah, my parents too.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been Just a Few More Minutes podcast, where three veterans of the animation and video game industry accidentally spill information on their own movie and potentially get fired unless Pete edits it out like I told him to.
He will.
I wrote it down, delete at 110.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, until next time, guys.
Yep. I'll see you guys this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit the music, Pete.